Well, thank you guys for coming today. It's fun to be here at the DataVox office. It's fun to be here at the May the Fourth Be With You event. I have been working with DataVox for maybe like 6 months right now, ever since I kind of got introduced to them through my channel. But I've been at NICE for 2 years as an account executive. I mostly work with Texas and Oklahoma accounts, but I love talking to all of our customers because this is just a great opportunity to, tell you guys what's going on at NICE and how we help our customers in general. I love hearing your stories too, because it helps me go back to my customers and tell them what I'm hearing when I talk to other companies who are also looking to improve customer experience. So feel free to make this interactive, because we're all here to learn, right? We're not all here to get just a death by PowerPoint for 30 minutes, hopefully, although all I do have is slides. So well, we'll go ahead and get started here. Again, my name is Janelle, and feel free to raise your hand. And what I'm going to do when you do raise your hand, I am going to throw this box at you so that you can speak into it. So I think that'll be kind of fun. Please give me an opportunity to do that and to test my skills. So the reason why we're here today and why this is the rise from contact center as a service to customer experience interactions, this is kind of an integral part to where we're at in the industry right now with how our customers like to do business with us. So Gartner, next 5 years, 85% of consumer interactions will take place without a human. I don't know about you guys, but when I am just trying to get some service of my own, whether it's trying to book a travel ticket or get my driver's license done or anything, I don't want to be, if phone is my only option, yes, I want to talk to an agent because you've given me one option. But if there's other ways where you can let me help myself, that's how I want to do business with your brand too. And I think we all relate to that of some sort. And it's something where for the Harvard Business Review has kind of provided some data on this as well, just giving you guys some real statistics that I didn't just make up and that my channel made up. Because it's right now where we're at is that only 19% of consumers truly do want to pick up that phone and talk to a human, even if there are other options. But the majority of us do want to try to attempt some other way to self-service. But where it's going to go is that if our automation gets smarter and AI as crazy as all that is, but if we truly have the right tools that are in on our website and in our mobile apps and ways for our customers to connect to our business, the majority of people are going to be managed in a self-service environment. And so I'm going to give you guys just a real quick overview of my own bad customer experience interaction, just to kind of highlight to you guys, like, we're not just talking about a phone call. What are all the other things along the journey that NICE is thinking about that we want to help our customers with? So I'll give you an example of recently I was I had booked a hotel for a friend's graduation, and that graduation ended up moving. So I needed to move that hotel date. Well, unfortunately, because I booked it on a really busy graduation weekend, I couldn't, I had booked like a restricted hotel, I guess. So I couldn't just go online and just move it myself to another date. So I needed some help of some sort. So the first thing I do is I go to Google and search for, let's just call it One Hotel. One Hotel's customer service number. Well, it doesn't even pop up on the first page. So their marketing team has done a great job of directing me to their marketing content. So I get to the website and I go search for myself. I go and log in. I'm like, if I get to my portal, it's going to be an easy way for me to self-service myself. There's nothing in my portal to help me. So I go to Contact Us. Contact Us sends me to not a phone number. They do send me a phone number, but they send me some other options. So I'm going to try those first. There's no chatbot. So there's a frequently asked questions page that gives me a phone number again. It tells me to download a mobile app. Maybe the mobile app is going to help me. Mobile app, I download it. I spend the time logging in. It's even worse than the web experience. It must be just a brand new thing that the company's still working on. But the fact that they are still pushing that as my next best action is annoying. So I go to the call center and I get through the IVR pretty quickly and I get connected to an agent. This is like 7 p.m. at night, which isn't super late. It's still 5 p.m. on the West Coast, right? But the agent can't help me because she's fairly new, I can tell. So going through the patience of hearing her Microsoft Teams to a teammate and asking for help on the questions that I'm asking. I'm sitting there patiently waiting for that response back. She puts me on hold, come back. And then she finally tells me she has to call the hotel to get permission to move my hotel reservation date. To spend 15 more minutes on the phone waiting for that agent to call the hotel that I should, I guess, called in the first place, talk to them, and they say, well, it's after hours. You need to call the general manager tomorrow anyway. So I go back and I say, thank you. Great 15-minute conversation. Go back to the website. I try to look at these frequently asked questions pages again, and they all just direct me to the mobile app or to call the call center again. We already did that. This is not a good experience, guys. We all have these stories, right? We all have them. We have good ones, we have bad ones. So the point of all that is just to highlight to you the things that we're thinking about at NICE that we want to help with. It's not that we don't know these things. We all know that these are the things we need to fix. And as technology owners of some of these products and such, we are doing what we can. And when the business comes to us and says, we need this, we need this, we need this, everybody's working as hard as they can to provide those for our businesses. But what it ends up looking like is we get a lot of channels. We have several IVRs sometimes, depending on how big your company is. We have SMS, live chat, chat bots. We have email, messaging, voice bots. We have natural language getting into the picture. Amazon does this, but IBM does that. NICE does this. Workforce optimization. Some stuff's on-prem, some stuff's moving to the cloud. We have knowledge management tools. Where is everybody pulling their knowledge from? And video and analytics. We need all the data. Everybody wants all the data. Our leadership all the time asking for all the data. And then everything that is lying underneath all of this is supported in the background. And plus the professional services on top of it to tell us, sometimes all they're telling us is, wow, these are all the things that you have wrong with your business. And we don't like that, right? We want to be positive. We want to be moving forward and make things easy. So when we talk to our customers, there's 5 key strategies that either we're having these conversations with our customers on calls or in person, or we're looking for these when we look into an investor's report or when we are looking at what the CEO is saying to stakeholders on quarterly presentations. And these are the 5 things that are coming up right now in the industry. We want to provide great experience. Just make it easy to do business with the company. We want the online experience to be easy. We want people to complete business transactions online. Improve employee efficiencies. We're losing agents left and right. One of my customers right now has a 90% agent turnover year over year. It's life insurance. And it's something where it should be an easy thing, but because it's so difficult to do business at the company, they have so many processes and so many sources of training, and they can't get up to speed very quickly, they leave. And that company now is trying to, they were remote and they want to bring everybody back into the office, but they've already acknowledged, we've already hired everybody we could hire in this city, and there's not a lot of people are going to come back to us. So we're running low on talent here. Reduce labor costs. So if we can make it easy for people to do their jobs and to stay with us, we're going to reduce a lot of labor costs. And then building a better integrated business. This is just a complete view of a customer journey, 360. We all hear that. So what's the point of providing a great customer experience? It's not just for the customers, right? There's a point. Our businesses have a deliverable to make to their stakeholders. They have a deliverable, usually revenue. So if you are leading in customer experience and personalizing it and make it easy to do business with your company, you're going to improve your revenues. And at the bottom line, that's what is going to always look good to your company as you serve them. And so how does this come back to what was in the title of the presentation, which was CXI? It is a nice made up acronym. Yes, it is. This is not an industry thing yet, because we're changing the game is that everybody is going to tell you contact center is the same thing. We all do the same thing out there. Everybody does voice. Everybody has chatbots. That's true to an extent. But the thing that's differentiating is the customer experience interaction as a management platform, and seeing it from the beginning of that journey when I showed you from the Google search all the way to the resolution of an incident or service opportunity. That looks like one seamless interaction, and where is that data coming from and how quickly can we do it? And that's what the difference of what NICE is focusing on. So when we look at your business, I will tell you one more thing that's probably important too in terms of how I talk to my customers. 50% of my CCaaS and digital sales are with the technology group. 50% of them are in the C-suite. So if the technology group blows us off and says, you know what, we've got everything we need here, we're good. We know that's not true because we're going to your website and we're going through the IVR and we're testing ourselves and we're seeing the scores of CSAT. And so we go to the executives and say, we know a way to help you make revenue. Can we help you do that? And they're going to buy that technology and make you guys put into place sometimes. And that's not a way to partner together internally. And that's not a way that I want to partner with my customers long term. If You know, if you're going to look at a technology partner who's financially disciplined and putting money into research and development, and it's going to be a partner with you 3 to 5 years down the road, I don't want to be dealing with an organization where the technology group and the business group are like this the whole time. It's really confusing for me, and it's really confusing for you. So we want the consumer experience to be thought of from not just the contact center and the technology group. We're pulling in the marketing teams. We're pulling in operations. We're pulling in the finance groups, because everybody has a stake in this one goal for the company, which is increasing revenue. Well, we're looking at the agent experience too, because if we're keeping these employees and they're not turning over and they have the tools that they need to be efficient and we're guiding them to the right content and the right training, they're going to stay, and that's going to ultimately, employee experience affects customer experience. And then finally, that's all related to the brand. At the end of the day, what is it that you're doing all the best efforts you can here internally, but how does it look to the customer? So your brand experience to the customer is the ultimate goal of whether this was a great experience and a great interaction or not. And just kind of diving into this further. So the reason why that there's 5 pillars here that we focus on in the whole customer journey, I don't even say anywhere here anything about contact center, because it's more than that, right? So we focus on the entry points, which is any way that a customer wants to do business with you is the way that we want to enable them to do business with you. And then orchestrating them to the right content, to the right knowledge, and to the right people at the right time. Smart self-service, that means having a virtual assistant that's in place for a live agent that's assisting, or having an actual smart chatbot that can get them to where they need to go. And then if they do need to talk to an agent, that those agents are empowered with the right tools and complete performance, that everything is truly on one cloud platform and is interacting with each other the way it should be. So one source, true source for all the data. Enlighten AI, so that's a piece here that is, do I have a little pointer? There we go. So this is going to be what I would say is, if you truly are looking for, Janelle, what are the 2 reasons that how NICE is different than Five9, Cisco, Avaya, Genesys, and all those things? It comes down to 2 things. Product-wise, it's the Enlighten AI. So NICE has been a company for 40 years, but for 20 of those years, they have billions of interactions of our customers' data that they've congregated. And what we'll do is we'll take your interactions, your chats, your voices, all those things, and we'll pull it into our database. And it's going to spit out, because it's had so many use cases of customers experience specific use cases, it's going to spit out self-service opportunities. It's going to say, this needs to be taken out of the IVR, and that definitely needs to go to a chatbot. This is an asynchronous conversation, meaning that a customer may have time to chat about something, and they get pulled into a work meeting. By the time you get back to the chat, the session's already disconnected. So asynchronous means that we're going to pull it out of that and leave that for another time. Maybe we email them later and pull them back into the chatbot when they're ready. So we're really just making sure that there is a call to action of, here's what we would recommend for self-service, and here's how we would optimize the contact center and optimize what needs to be pulled into digital self-service, not just trying to guess and make up these use cases ourselves because we already know it. And then the Enlighten AI tool is also something that we have pre-built modules for, where we've got specific use cases for customer satisfaction, for sales effectiveness, for complaint management, for auto-summarizing conversations for an agent. And we'll pre-bundle that and build that for our customers so that you can model things just specifically after your own data over time. And so product-wise, that's the number 1 reason why NICE. I'll go over number 2 in a little bit, though. So good customer experience. If I was going to go back to this hotel again and ultimately have the best experience or ideal experience for how I'd want this interaction to go, because this is actually a true story. I really do need this hotel to be moved to another date. I would prefer that when I went to Google, that it was optimized so that the first thing that comes up, that if I was searching specifically for one hotel's customer service, that I have an option that comes up right away and it's search engine optimized for me to pull up exactly what I'm looking for, and that it's proactively leading me to the right stuff, and that the knowledge that I go to is the same knowledge that that the website is moving off of and that the internal company employees are working off of. If I'm going to go to a channel of my choice, I want to have, since NICE does support over 30 channels, our closest competitor supports 9 at tops. I want to be able to choose a text message. I personally actually don't like getting a bunch of text messages. So maybe Facebook Messenger is easier if I'm out of the country, or WhatsApp. That's great for some of our global clients, or just their hotel app. That's probably the main thing that I was just talking with one of my teammates in the back about just how many applications or mobile apps that everybody wants us to download. You know what? I'll download your app if it's going to help me get me what I need. So, but as long as it's responsive and proactive and that it's a smart, intelligent, truly helpful thing, that's all that I care about. And then if it does need to get escalated to a voice call, that the agent can help me and truly assist me. Like I'm one of those people, I'm in the business of customer service, and we've all dealt with that, you know, maybe at a support service desk of the type of role of some sort, where I don't like to be mean to agents and I don't like to get frustrated because I know that they're just doing the best that they are trying to do too. We're all just trying to be the best performing human that we can be. But at the end of the day, I am going to get frustrated still if they can't assist me. So we want them to have you know, we want the business to be able to help those agents and to give them have the analytics as to how they're performing, to help with the scheduling even and the forecasting of where these agents are and when they're going to work, and giving them the flexibility in their schedule to choose when they can work. And then even just the voice of the customer aspect. I don't like filling out surveys. So if there's a different way that they can figure out how my experience was without me telling them, let's do that. That is a good experience to me. So let me stop there for a second. Does anybody have any like thoughts of that or of how like your business is doing customer service, or you know, something that is just kind of new here, maybe that you didn't think about before in terms of everybody when they come to me, they go, NICE was a call recording company. NICE does contact center, call center. We didn't know you did all this other crazy stuff.
Janelle has a question.
Yeah. Oh, but I have to throw it.
Yes. This is the actual reason why. I just want to try this out. But yeah, by the way, like you said, NICE, from what I know, you know, is a recording company that we use NICE at the airport because I'm from the Houston Airport Systems. But one thing I kind of picked upon was when you talked about, you know, the chatting. So you could be on the chat and, you know, walk away to a meeting or something, and then when you're back, the session is over. And I was just wondering, so how do you guys integrate carrying that conversation towards when that person comes back, they'll be able to retrieve the conversation and possibly be able to carry on that conversation going forward, even after, let's say, an hour.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that, because that's something that really blew my mind when we were going through all of our trainings. We go through 2 trainings a week for the past year on all the stuff that we do. That's okay. So you're going to keep that, because the next question that comes, we're going to have you throw it. So okay. Thank you for asking.
Awesome.
Yeah. So with the chatbot, what we're trying to do and accomplish with an asynchronous conversation is that we are actually providing the guidance and the tool that is assisting to acknowledge that, okay, the person is not responding. The next best action is going to be proactive. And we're actually, the bot is making the decision to take it out of the chat and say, hey, I see you're busy right now. We'll be back here if you need us, but I'm going to and stay there. So keep that window open, but we're going to go ahead and proactively email you or whatever the company's decided is that next best channel to continue the conversation. Or maybe it's like, hey, maybe we'll call you and get something scheduled, or I'll text you and we'll have you pick on the calendar the next time you want to talk to us. And so there's a whole path of that where that, you know, for one of our customers who is using a lot of our digital tools is Whirlpool, and their website's actually really easy to go to their product help page and kind of see how some of their knowledge management with us works. But one of the things that's interesting is that if you need to get a refrigerator delivered, sometimes that's something you're chatting in about and saying, hey, I need to get this scheduled. And then you run off to something that's like, God, but I really need that fridge scheduled. Do I have to call and wait on hold? No, let's go ahead and send you the calendar to go ahead and get that scheduled. So that's something that's super helpful, and just like, okay, thank you for thinking of that. You're making my life easier. Is that helpful?
Yeah. Thanks.
Cool. I only got a few more actually, and I'm actually can't be here all day either. So, so if you're gonna look at just a little bit about why NICE and who we are 27,000 customers total in a lot of Fortune 100 companies, galaxy-wide. We just hit 1 million agents that are on the platform just a few weeks ago. And one thing that is great about our CEO, he's very communicative and very, very forward thinking. And so in 2016, he told our stakeholders, we're going to double this to 2 billion. And he said he was going to do it by 21. And everyone's like, okay, great. That's awesome. It didn't happen until 2022. Yes, COVID years, one doesn't count. But we did double revenues and we gained employees last year. So we weren't letting go people and laying off people because of, a lack of, customers or revenue coming in. They continue to develop. And what happens is that when you're developing products that are new and aren't on, anywhere else that anyone else can provide, that's what people are buying. And so we still had revenues coming in. So we were growing our employee base, but it really wasn't with the sales force. As important as I'd like to think that I am, a third of our employee base is research and development, and 25% of that base is specifically for AI, droids because of the occasion. And then we have been the Magic Quadrant leader 8 times for CCaaS, contact centers of service. For workforce management specifically, that's been 14 times. That's probably worth putting up there too. White now. Sorry about that. But we aren't just the big companies. So I think that's the biggest thing that people will say is NICE is too big for us. They're too expensive. We really aren't. When we win deals, we're priced out pretty comparatively. But we also can start deals at 20 agents. And our largest customer that we just acquired last year has over 40,000 agents. So yes, we can be the biggest out there, but I also signed a deal a month ago with a customer who had a Cisco support environment that has 50 agents and have like 10 HR people too. And we got them in 3 weeks, moved on to the CXone platform. So that was a really easy, simple move. Cisco and Avaya are the easiest migrations for us. We have entire teams of people that we've hired from there to help us with those efforts. And so that's the other aspect too, is that we're not just, if you're going to talk to your Datavox rep and say, I want to talk to NICE or just explore what they have, or just in general, at least have us at the table, because it's fair. You need to talk to maybe 2 to 3 vendors just to see what's the best fit for your business. But when I'll tell you what we'll do is that if you give us an opportunity to come to the table, we're going to bring to you our consulting branch on top of the product demos. So we have an entire group of former Accentures and Deloitte employees as well, who they are building out goals. They're checking out your current state, and we'll do like a 3-day interview process all the way up to your chief marketing officer, chief technology, chief operating, down through operations, contact center, to workforce management, to the finance group. And we'll talk to supervisors and agents and just get all their input on what's working well in the business, what's not working well. And we'll put together a roadmap for you. So all these steps that I told you that we're thinking about, we're not expecting you to know that. That's our job to piece together where you guys fit in one of the 5 pillars. And so if you're going to leave today and say, there's 4 advantages to NICE. I told you guys one of them, the product stuff, right? So we talked about the interactions beyond contact center. Digital is what's driving everything. I've told you guys about the AI, and I've talked to you about the consulting group, and the technologies are great. But I think one thing to think about is, and I would challenge you guys just in general, I worked at a few different technology companies, and I really like working at NICE. And the reason why I refer people to come work for us is because I know what the technology landscape is right now. And it's an unstable environment. I have a lot of friends out there who are getting fired or let go or laid off and whatnot. I'm telling them to come to NICE because we're not experiencing that. We have a company who is, like I said before, financially disciplined. And so if you're going to look for somebody who's going to roadmap with you 3 to 5 years down the road, they better be there. If they're bought out by a private equity company, or right now there's some of our competition that has over $300 million in interest alone on their debt. $300 million in interest alone, not the debt itself from last year, because of the position that people are in. And so I would challenge you guys to involve your finance groups to come into the conversation, into those RFP processes, and ask those hard questions and to look at the financials, because those are the things that matter when you look at, there's companies out there that are great, like Cisco, that have been there for years and years and years. But there's some of these small players, if you looked at that technology map that were there, they're not going to be there 5 years from now. And so then you're going to rebuild another chatbot, or would you want to just go with somebody who is going to have everything there and have a plan for it if it's changing? So that is all I have. The last thing I will leave you with is that we also have an event coming up in June. It's our Interactions Customer Conference. It's really exciting. I've been told, I haven't gone because it's been virtual the past years I've been at NICE. But my customers have told me that NICE does not skip. Like, they do a great job. They put together sessions. I'm actually going to go because I'm hosting 3 customers. And so if you guys are able to go, they're $500 a ticket. to register. Hotels, well, we got some blocked and I saw that they were like between $300 to $400. But talk to DataVox, have them talk to a NICE AE and see if they can, there might be some comped tickets to go. If you can, get the travel accommodated for. And we have full sessions with industry leaders and product management and stuff. And, I listened to all their stuff last week and it was all really good. I forgot how many songs I actually knew. So that is it. Thank you guys for coming to this session. Do you have any questions? Who wants him to, I forget your name, I'm sorry.
Zoman.
Zoman.
Yeah.
Who wants to catch it just for fun?
It's really fun to see.
All the way to
A long pass.
Oh, I think it's fun.
Yay! Awesome. Thanks, guys. Come to our booth downstairs if you have any questions. We've got little lightsabers for you. Yeah.
Nice.